Hi guys, my name is Mohammed. Welcome to Power Behind Microsoft Power Apps and Flow session. In this session, we're gonna go ahead and create a Power App for creating purchase order. A little about me. My name is, as I said, Samir Mohammed. I'm the CIO slash SharePoint principal at AQL Technologies, a company I founded 10 years back. I've been in IT for the past 20 years, and we've been implementing SharePoint since SharePoint 2003. With that being said, let's dive right into Power Apps and see how we can get started with creating applications using this awesome tool. Uh, Clicking on New is going to open up the screen right here, which is going to give a choice for creating a Power App with several different technologies, and these are known as connectors. And I'm going to go ahead and choose SharePoint. And over here, I'm going to select phone layout. This is my site. Over on the left, I've selected the connection as SharePoint and logged in over here using my credentials. And I need to specify the URL of the site that I'm going to be connecting to. Click on Go. This is going to show the list from where I get to choose the list, uh, which is going to be purchase order. This creates an entire app with 3 screens connected to the purchase order list that I have. And you'll be very surprised, it's just pretty good, functionality for just browsing the screens, for looking at the details, and then for editing the screens. And it comes pretty well handy. Uh, Clicking on the browse screen, you're going to see that it's got, a title up in the top, a button to refresh, a button to sort, and then creating new items. And this bottom section over here is actually, a gallery loaded with all the columns that are in the list. Out of that, it basically shows the columns that we have selected in the layout, and we're going to take a look at that. Over here, though, you're going to see all the columns. There could be more columns. It's just going to go ahead and show you all those columns in here. The same applies to that screen as well. So we're going to go ahead and modify all these to fit our needs. But before that, we're going to go ahead and create a brand new screen, which is going to be the front page of my app by clicking on New Screen right here. And out of blank, scrollable screen, list screen, and form screen, I'm going to go ahead and choose list screen. And this is what I get, a blank screen. If I scroll on the left side, then it's actually the last one down at the bottom. I'm going to go ahead and move this from the last one all the way up to the top. Here we are with the screen up in the top. I'm going to go ahead and give it a proper name. Dashboard. And so now I'm going to go ahead and move this down a little bit so that I can add my dashboard up in the top, which is going to be a pie chart. So squeeze it down, I think, to just 3 items, and I'm going to go ahead and move it down. Now let's go ahead and insert a pie chart. This is what I get. I'm going to go ahead and delete all the legends, scroll this down a little bit, and blow it up. So I think this is not bad. Now let's go ahead and start setting the properties of the screen, which is to start with, I want to give it a proper title. Select the column, select the control, and up in the top, you see that text has been selected. I'm going to change the text value to my orders, which is good. And the plus sign, I don't want to have a plus sign. So the beauty about it is that I can actually select that plus control over here, click on the properties, and just make it invisible for right now. Click on visible and set it to false. Uh, let's go back and then select the refresh button over here, and then make it work. Right now, when the user clicks on it, there really is nothing happening over here. So I need to go ahead and specify what needs to be done here. In my case, I'm going to go ahead and select and enter a certain formula over here that I have. Now this, what you see, is basically the data source that I've created. And you can actually view this data source by view up in the top over here and then clicking on data sources. The name of my data source is purchase order, and this has been created by default by PowerApp when I chose purchase order as the list. So I think that I don't have to manually create this unless I want to connect to a different list. Click on this, and then I just specify refresh purchase order data source when user clicks on it. Clicking on sort, it's already got the formula in there. Update the context, and then just sort it. Now let's go ahead and set the value of the pie chart over here. What I want to do is that I want to have this pie chart show the category name grouped by the total order cost. So I'm going to go ahead and write down a formula on the items, which is the data source. Right now the data source is a pie chart sample. It's a sample data source that comes along with the pie chart. I'm going to go ahead and remove that, and here's a formula that I have written down. And so pretty much what I'm saying in here is that I'm grouping the purchase order data by the category column, and this is the category column that I have. And let's just go real fast to the purchase order list, and then you're going to see that this is the purchase order list. It's got description, stock, quantity, unit price, and category. So what I'm going to do right now is that I'm going to group it by the category. And so here I am. So I'm going to group it by the category, and then I'm going to go ahead and multiply the quantity with the inventory, which gives me the total cost of one single item. But now when I start summing up the product of quantity and unit price of every single row, then that's when I'm going to get the total category cost, which is the cost of all the purchase orders within that category. So pretty much again, the only thing that's happening here is that I'm grouping all the data by the category, and then doing a sum of the product of quantity and unit prices. And as soon as I do that, you're gonna see that this has changed totally. Zoom in a little more, and now it starts showing me the furniture category, the electronic category, and the food category. But now I need a little more than that. What I need is that I want to see numbers also. So down at the bottom, I have this gallery right here, the browse gallery 2. I have this gallery over here, which is really sitting over there and then doing nothing. I'm going to go ahead and apply a formula over there. There's already a formula over here, items, and this is the data source of this gallery right here. I'm going to go ahead and change that. I'm going to write down this formula over here, and this is the same thing. This is exactly the same formula that I have used for the pie chart also. And as soon as I do that, you're going to see that now it actually gives me the category names. That's all it does right now. It does not give me anything else other than just category names. So let's go ahead and change this. Select the whole gallery itself, and as soon as I select the whole gallery, on the right hand side, right under properties for this gallery, it shows me the layout also. The layout right now is the image, the title, and the subtitle. Let's go ahead and change this. I don't need the image. So I'm going to go ahead and choose title and subtitle. And title is going to be category, and the subtitle, let's see what the subtitles I have, is the total cost. So it's a total category column that I've added. And so which is good, but it's not formatted. So what I want to do is that I want to go ahead and format this column. So choose the column, and then so here's the text value. So right now the only thing is that it's just saying this item dot total category. Whatever is the value of the total category, just displayed. So I'm going to go ahead and format it. Use this formula over here. Pretty much the only thing this formula is doing is it's getting the value of the total category column, and then it's formatting it. It's saying that, hey, if it's 0, then just throw in a 0. If not, then do a proper formatting, add dot 00 to it. And as soon as I do that, you're gonna see that all of this is formatted now. Let's go ahead and close the layout here, zoom in, and then now all this information is formatted, which is very good. Now that the formatting is done, let's go ahead and integrate this page with other pages here. What I want to do is that when the user clicks on this icon over here, I want it to navigate to one of these pages, to the browse screen page. So as soon as I choose the icon, the on select event pops up, and the value right now is just select the parent, which is really nothing. Let's go ahead and change this to navigate. And in here, I'm going to specify the name of the screen, browse gallery 1, browse screen 1, sorry. Browse screen 1, right there. And also I need to specify how is the transition going to be. So I'm going to say that I don't need any styling, so none. And I think that my first page is done over here. As soon as I click on this, it's just going to jump over to the browse screen. Let's go ahead and run this and see how it works out. Okay, so far so good. Clicking on refresh, it's definitely doing some refresh. I see these dots over here up in the top, so it's definitely doing a refresh. Clicking on food, when I click on food, it does definitely take me to the browse screen. But the sad part is that, which I think I still have to program, is it shows me all these categories, and all these categories are not formatted the way I want it. There's just no information here. So let's close the screen and go back and then fix the browse screen. The first thing that I want to do here is that as soon as a user comes here, I want it to display only those categories filtered by what the user has selected, what category the user has selected on the first screen. So I have this crazy formula here. I'm going to go ahead and put it right here. And this is how it's going to look like. And just to make it much more simpler, I have just split it out in 3 different lines. So pretty much all it's doing is that it's just filtering out the purchase order list with the category selected in the dashboards gallery. So I'm going to go back and fix this and select the name of the gallery. The name of the gallery is browse gallery 2. I should give it proper names, but I think I'm going to live with it for now. And here I have I'm going to go ahead and give it the proper name. And now use this formula. In the browse screen's data source, so which means the items. So I select this whole thing here, and then the items, which specifies the data source. Right now it just purchase order, it's just everything. Show me everything from purchase order. I'm gonna go ahead and remove this, and I'm gonna plug in my formula, which basically says that, hey, show me information, show me only those categories which the user has selected on the dashboard screen. So it's supposed to be showing only those purchase orders for that category. Okay, so that looks pretty good. It's got 2 items. Now I need to go ahead and format this. I need to go ahead and give it a proper layout. click on the layouts again over here. So right now I'm on the browse gallery and click on the layout, and I'm gonna go ahead and select. I have a choice of selecting, title, subtitle, and body, which is what's selected right now, which I think I might be okay with. The title is going to be not barcode, but I think it's going to be the title itself. And the second thing is the category. And then the third thing is, I think I'm going to go ahead and use this quantity right there. So it shows me quantity. Okay. And so that's not bad. I think I can live with that. And pretty much, it would be, appropriate to actually, uh, you know, give the name of the value right before it, which is category. But as of right now, I'm just going to jump over to the next screen. Let's go ahead and add a back button over here. I'm going to move purchase orders towards the side a little bit and go to insert and click on icon, and pretty much just go ahead and select the left icon over here, which there it is. Move it up a little bit. And change the color from blue. Let's go ahead and change it to white so that it's really visible. That's good. Now on the court side, I select on select, and there's no value right here. So let's go ahead and have it navigate to the dashboard screen when the user clicks on it. Right there, dashboard. And again, what kind of transition would you want? None. And that's pretty good. So I think that we pretty much done with this screen here. Now let's go over to the detail screen. And in here, I want to go ahead and remove the columns that I'm not using over here. So select the whole display form, and then on the right side, click on the layout. So which is vertical, which is good. The beautiful part is that over here, I can just uncheck that columns that I don't want. And so both these two columns are removed. Do the same thing on the edit screen also. Select the form, click on the layout, and click on modified. Actually uncheck modified, uncheck compliance. And that looks pretty good. Now I'm going to go ahead and define a rule over here. And rules are pretty brand new right now. And Microsoft has just rolled out these rules. And clicking on rules right in the middle over here, it says right here experimental. So this is more kind of like evolving now, which is a good part into rules, kind of like the rules that we had in InfoPath forms. So pretty much what I want to do is that I want to have, if the user chooses a certain category, a certain stock like phones, if they are ordering more than quantity of 100, then I want a red message to come over here alerting them that they cannot purchase more than a quantity of 100 for stock phones. And also to prevent the user from saving, I want to go ahead and make the save button invisible. So to start with, I'm going to go ahead and choose a label control where I can show right there. I'm going to go ahead and bring it down. There it is. Let's go ahead and give it a proper name. LBL warning, and click on properties and just not have any text in there at all, because this is supposed to be invisible till the user enters a quantity greater than 100 for a stock phone. So let's go ahead and choose quantity right here, And let's take a look at the name of the column, which is data card value 11. And also I'm going to go ahead and choose stock over here and take a look at the name of the stock, data control 10, which is good. Okay, so let's go back. Now I'm going to go ahead and write down a rule on quantity. Click on rules, click on new rule, and add a condition, which is greater than. So it says data card value 11, and I'm going to go ahead and choose the text property and make sure that this is converted over to numeric value right there, and is greater than 100. And the stock, and in this case I just saw that the name of the stock text box over here, I'm sorry, the stock lookup column over here was data value 10. That's how I know it. So data value 10 dot selected, whatever is the value selected, dot value is equal to, within quotes, phones. Then there's a certain action that I want to do. And now the beautiful thing about it is that in the past, like in InfoPath form, you probably might have to go ahead and program it, but over here you could just click on it and do things, and it's gonna translate that into code and save it. So I'm trying to find my text box over here, and I'm gonna say that when this condition matches, which I've specified in the rule, then I want the text, hey, you can't buy phones. Okay, this is okay, more than 100 at a time. And just to have a serious effect to the warning, let's go ahead and make it red. Okay, so that looks pretty good. And also I'm gonna choose the text box right here to, I'm sorry, the check mark, which is a save button here, to be invisible. And now click on show actions up in the top, and then you're gonna see what we have, the actions that we have specified so far, which is number one, make visible, make the accept icon, which is a save icon, and set the text box to this value, and I'm sorry, set the label control to, hey, you can buy phones more than 100 at a time, and change the color to red. So that looks pretty good. I'm going to click on done, and I think I'm going to done specifying the condition. So here we are. We have a rule, and this is the condition, and this is the action. If this condition is met, then this action is supposed to fire. So as of right now, even the quantity is 100, but since the stock is snacks, it's really not showing any value. Click on OK. And let's go ahead and play around with it again. Here you can just go ahead and expand the rule and take a look at it. And I see that the rule is written on the okay. I have seen this happen at times. For some reason, the rule just jumps, just like how it happened right now. The rule just, I started writing the rule on the quantity text box, but somehow, now the rule is actually sitting on the save button here. I have no idea what I did to make this happen, but I think that this is a bug in PowerApps as of right now, unless I just invoked a secret feature which Microsoft terms all its bugs as. So I think that I might have to go ahead and just delete this and then recreate the rule again on the quantity column. So here we are. I did exactly the same thing again, and this time I got it right. So the rule is, so when I click on the quantity column, I definitely see the rule, and in here I'm actually specifying the rule details, and you can look at it. The Double clicking on it just opens up the window again, and here's pretty much what I'm specifying as the condition, which is I'm just saying that, hey, if the value in the data card value 10, I know I should be giving them proper names, but this is actually the quantity column. If the quantity column selected, I apologize. This is the stock column. If the stock column selected value is phones, and you can see right here is phones, and the value of the quantity column is greater than 100, then go ahead and fire this action up. And what this action does is that it changes the color of the quantity here to red, just like how it's right now. And then it makes the icon up in the top, which is save, invisible, and then it displays this text, hey, you can't buy phones more than 100 at a time. And then it also sets the color to, and that's pretty much for the rule. That's pretty much it for the rule. So here I have the rule 7, and unfortunately at this point in time I cannot rename the rules. Also, I cannot copy and paste them on other controls like I could do in InfoPath forms. So I think for now we might have to live with this. Let's go ahead and run this whole program now, and let's enter electronics. Click on electronics, and yes, that's a good thing. It actually just shows me only my electronic items, only the items which are of the category electronics. That's good. So I'm gonna go ahead and click on the plus sign. Hopefully it works. Yes, it does. It takes me to the edit screen, and here I'm gonna go ahead and enter iPhone, the plus one. Okay, that's good. Actually iPhone 10, and then this is here where I'm actually gonna select phones, and quantity is going to be 1001. Oops. Hey, you can't buy phones more than 100 at a time, and it's red in color, and the save has disappeared over here, which is good. Unit price is 100. I'm going to go back and change this to 100. Okay, so the image down at the bottom, the red text has disappeared, and the save is enabled now, which is good. And the category, I'm going to go ahead and select electronics, actually enter electronics. The reason why this is a single text box and not a lookup is because when I was actually writing the formula to group it up for my dashboard to actually show it right in the pie chart as well as the gallery screen on the dashboard, it does not take lookups. So I think I might have to, if I really need a lookup column over here, then I think I might have to write down a workflow on my SharePoint list, which is going to backfeed it from the category lookup column to the category text box column, and the dashboard is going to use the category text box column, the category single line of text column, to go ahead and run its calculations. Click on save. And it takes me back to electronics. Okay, it actually took me back to food. Go back, click on electronics, and that's the one. iPhone 10, the plus one. Click on it, shows me all the details. Go back, use the button here to go back, and here my electronic quantity I believe is more than what I had before, which is pretty much what I was expecting. So thank you so much for watching this session on PowerApps. There's going to be another session for Microsoft Flow. Thank you so much again. Bye.